Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dialar's Twi'lek Tactics. In this video, we're doing a deep dive into EVA-06 or Kaworu. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. I think that's right. So if you've never seen one of my deep dives, what we do here is we go over his kit in its entirety, and then we're going to go over how the game recommends what we do with him, and then we're going to go over his gearing recommendations as I see them as of now. Keep in mind, this is like day 2 of him being in the game. And then normally I do gameplay testing afterwards, but since he is not immortal, X30, hyper-evolved, all that good stuff, stay tuned for in the future when I can do a little bit more extensive testing at his full potential for you. So we will do a little bit of gameplay testing, but just to get a taste and flavor of what this guy has to bring, but not that as extensively as I normally do. So let's enjoy this cinematic. One thing, let's go like that. One thing the game does nice is they do spend nice time. I do enjoy the opening cinematics of each hero. Very, very movie-like, so kudos to you guys for doing that. All right, let's return. So, Kaworu, EVA-06. I'm going to start at the end of his kit. The end of his kit, because his passive is going to dictate kind of how... His passive is going to dictate everything else about this guy. So, when EVA-06 enters the battle, they gain attack bonus equal to 2% of max HP. So this is like Claire, Ares, Barog. You know, this is a typical Vanguard mechanic. What is atypical, though, is he's going to deal damage to himself equal to 2% of his max HP every 2 seconds and restore 50 rage. So it is very, very cool that he's going to just have a passive rage mechanic. I think Claire has that too. I don't know if it's passive. I think Claire also has where she gives a big boost of rage at the beginning of battle, but this guy might be the first one that just gives himself continuous rage regeneration regardless of the rage mechanic. But he's going to hurt himself in the process, which I think is kind of stupid. I don't think that was needed in this guy's kit at all, because there is something in his kit which totally negates this 2% basically bleed mechanic or drain mechanic that he gives himself. So, but this damage can be affected by EVA-06 damage reduction. So damage reduction is important. If you're wondering why I said 2% HP and 50 rage, it's because that's his level 3. Pretty much everyone will have him at level 3. Talent modifier reads, Kaworu reduces true damage taken by 20%. Now, true damage is usually a hunter mechanic. It is usually a energy mechanic. So those are 2 teams that I normally don't take Vanguards up against. So that is kind of wishy, kind of meh in my opinion. And then his X30, his exclusive 30 is 5 seconds after the battle starts. He restores 600 rage. 600 rage is a full rage bar. Now, the reason why I think this is actually kind of useless is that, you know, he's going to be giving himself 100 rage. So, you know, 50 every 2 seconds. So he'll have 100 rage prior to this. He'll have rage built up from being hit. So truly, he's not giving himself 600 rage. He's really probably giving himself like 300 to 200 to 100, depending on how many hits. So really, this exclusive should have been 5 seconds after battle, he instantly gets an ultimate. That would have been much more practical and realistic. You're not actually giving yourself 600 rage because you're going to have an almost full rage bar already, right? Unless you can get a full ultimate out in 5 seconds, which is also an argument that we made for Claire. Okay, so then now that we got the passive out of the way, keep in mind, HP converts to attack. His ultimate, EVA-06, throws a spear into a selected area. So if you're running your ultimate on manual, you can direct it where you want to throw the spear. It's going to deal, I think the maxes is 600, yes, 600% of his attack, which is going to get boosted by HP. And then Kaworu is going to charge towards the spear, dealing damage to targets along the path equal to 600% of his attack. This skill cannot crit. That's important. That is expected in a lot of Vanguards. During the Collab event, this skill deals 100% more damage. That is only relevant for the next 12 days. So, okay. Talent modifier reads, when throwing the spear, there is a 40% chance based on accuracy to push all the targets within range of the spear towards the center of the impact point. Think of like Anaruda's draw in. This guy has a couple draw mechanics in his entire kit, and his ultimate is going to draw enemies in towards the spear, which lines them up nicely for all of your Vanguard's ultimates. Claire ultimates into a splash, into AoE splash. Ares ultimates through a line. Barag ultimates jumps up splash damage into a center. So this is actually a nice mechanic for the Vanguard team. It is a nice complement to what the Vanguard team already does. But 40% base chance. What does that mean? 200 accuracy. We've been given the formula a long time ago. This is how it is. 200 accuracy doubles the base chance. So 200 accuracy is going to make it an 80% chance to draw in. Now, I kind of think that this should have had 100% base chance. I don't think they needed to cap it by accuracy, but they did, or modify by accuracy, but they did. So you're going to want roughly 200 accuracy to make this thing work correctly. His exclusive effect, this skill gains 20% lifesteal. The lifesteal is really nice. Any lifesteal on a Vanguard, I will take it because they are in the thick of things. They are getting pounded on the entire time. So they kind of need lifesteal. Otherwise, they're not that good. They're not that good if they don't have ways to regen life naturally in their kit. They're also going to get some life regen from Haggard on Commander. So when it's all said and done, you know, they can actually keep on trucking. His first common skill, EVA-06 Kaworu, hits the ground, creating a shockwave, dealing damage to targets in a straight line. So it is like, think of like Arcadia, her arrow moving out, or Botmark. So it is, he's going to strike the ground with his spear, and it's going to create a directional attack that's going to deal damage to people caught in its path. Now, very important, this damage, or the damage cap of this, is on rails on a range. Now, that range is 360 to 720% of his attack modified by HP. And that range is dictated by his accuracy. So you see, depending on accuracy, maximum is at 200. So this guy just wants 200% accuracy in his kit. Now, the accuracy on the ultimate, that's kind of a PvP mechanic, in my opinion. It can be used for PvE, but nice for PvP. This just straight up mitigate or determines his damage of this skill. And then again, more accuracy on his talent effect. This skill has a 40% chance, based on accuracy, to push the hit targets towards Kaworu. Now, I think that it would have been, so it should say pull, because he's doing the attack that's emanating outwards, and I guess this is going to pull it towards him, which is kind of nice. Although, so now he's got a pull, he's got two pull mechanics, one on his ultimate and one on this skill. Exclusive effect, for every enemy hit, gain a shield equal to 15% of his max HP. I do like that they said max HP, because that happens after all of the modifiers, all of the trophies, etc. Up to 45% max HP, so you have to hit 3 units, right, to max his shield. And you will see that it is a significant shield. When we're do our limited gameplay testing, it fills up like 3/4 of this guy's health bar. So that is his first common skill. Second common skill, it's got a passive and an active effect. So the passive effect is, when attacked, restore 2% max HP and gain 1 stack of hostility up to 6 stacks. Kind of awkward that he's going to gain 2% HP when attacked, but he's going to lose 2% HP every 2 seconds. See what I mean? Really? I think that lose HP mechanic is kind of dumb. I think it should have just been every 2 seconds regenerate 50 rage and called it a day. But so this guy's gonna also, he has lifesteal on his ultimate, and he just passively has health gain, or I guess it's health gain. It's not lifesteal, because he can only gain max HP when hit. So you really, really, really want this guy to be have as much max HP and damage reduction possible for survivability. But I think max HP is more important than damage reduction. We'll get to that later. The active effect, at 6 stacks, consume them and deal damage to enemies within a radius of 4 meters around himself, equal to 450% of his attack. If you remember, his first skill is going to draw enemies towards himself. Then, as they're hitting him, he's going to explode. So very cool. And then the talent effect, again, by accuracy, has a 40% chance to reduce target's damage by 20% for 5 seconds. So very, very cool. That's like an AoE damage reduction to enemies. That's nice, because he's going to be bringing them in and then screwing them up. Exclusive effect deals 1.5% more damage. You know, that is kind of menial. It's kind of boring, but whatever. So it does more damage. What's 1.5 times 450? So half of that's 225. So that's 675. So he's going to do 675% of his attack, which that might be good. We'll find out once we get him at a comparable level to test. So that's his whole kit. Now, normally Vanguards, you don't have to worry about accuracy in PvP, but given that it's on everything, I kind of think that Kaworu wants accuracy in a PvP scenario and a PvE scenario. So let's see what the game recommends before we get into my gear and recommendations. So they're recommending him up front, which I guess makes sense if you have him in like an EVA team, right? An EVA team. I don't think that makes sense in a Vanguard team because, well, maybe, depending on how beefy he is, how tanky he is. We will test that later. But they're recommending frontline. They're recommending HP and damage reduction as the core stats. I agree. I think they should also add accuracy, though. And then gear recommendations is charge, vigorous, and blessed. I get it with the vigorous, but I kind of like blessed because I kind of like, ooh, that's a tough one. I do like blessed because I think it brings a little bit more to the table. But vigorous, 15% HP, that is nice based on because he really wants HP. So you guys decide. I think blessed is better in my opinion, though. And they're recommending to run him with EVA units. I disagree. I think that is only applicable if we get a commander that runs with EVA units. So the game recommends pretty much what I'm going to recommend to you, right? Frontline, I don't know. We'll test that later. Gear, let's get into the gear now. So I think, given that he's got a bunch of AoE, I think if you were going to use him in a PvE scenario, you would want to run, say, Surge Vigorous. Surge and Vigorous. Because think of, like, endless battles. You're not taking damage anyway. We'll weigh on that later. So for PvE, I'm going to say Surge and Vigorous to max him out. And it's going to be HP, accuracy, HP on the bottom. Okay? That is the PvE scenario. For PvP, I'm going to recommend Charge and Blessed, and then I'm going to recommend HP on the boots, accuracy on the helm, and HP on the hands. I don't have an HP Blessed or Charge hand, so I'm running attack, but I would recommend HP on the hands, accuracy on the helm, HP on the boots. That's going to be the same PvE or PvP, but I think your sets are going to change for PvE. And then for substats, what you want is, let me see if I can find one that has it all. There we go. HP, damage reduction, accuracy. Keep in mind, you have to hit 200. Well, you don't have to, but it is ideal to hit 200. So you see, this gear set that I have on my Kaworu right now has 139 accuracy, and that, with Guild Tech, is going to put me at 201. So I am getting the max possible attack from his first common skill. So that is how I would gear him. Again, HP, accuracy, HP on the bottom, and then look for HP, damage reduction, and accuracy substats in your gear. Shoot for 200 total accuracy between Guild Tech and gear. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's his kit. That's how he works. That's how you build him. Okay, so now let's go do some limited gameplay. We don't have a whole lot of places we can test him in, but luckily, the game has queued up for us places that he's required in. So first of all, let's try this fight. Now, I have them all in their normal gear sets, not the best possible gear sets. You see Kaworu, he's in his charge. You know, I'll just run through them real quick. There you go. So let's see how they do. Actually, for testing, we're actually going to bring in the last unit who's not going to do a whole lot. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then let's put him up front where the game recommends him to be, because that is also where my best damage stats are. The front. So keep in mind that he's going to have a 17.5% increased attack from Commander, whereas Shinji and Mari and Asuka are suffering. Although keep in mind as well for this testing, Asuka and Shinji are exclusive 30 hypervolved 120. Marie is 240 x 20, and EVA-06 is X20, but only Lego 4. Okay, here we go. And also keep in mind that I'm going to be running Chaos Chip, which is going to give the Assassin and the Vanguard more damage. So you have to keep that in mind when you're comparing it to Shinji or Mari. So I'm going to say he's going to do quite well. I have just this tickle in the cockles of my heart that tells me he's going to do well. And as you see, he does seem to be neck and neck with Shinji. Keep in mind, though, he's gaining all the benefits from Chaos Chip and from the Commander. Also, though, keep in mind, Shinji's X30 120. So I kind of like what I'm seeing damage-wise. Now, there is a whole bunch of like different damage modifiers specifically for this fight. So we do gotta. This fight is just for speculating because there's so many modifiers to this. But look at the tank. Look at the tank doing nothing. Doing nothing. Poor Ray. Poor Ray. But this is the Kaworu show. This is the EVA-06 show, and he is neck and neck, back and forth with Shinji. Asuka running away with it. I think that we can all agree that as of now, she is the best collab unit out of the group, but we do not have a Purine in the bunch. Asuka is good, but she is just a little bit better than, say, Moto from the first collab event. Oh, Kaworu pulling ahead. Kaworu closing the gap between him and Asuka, but not really. It's going to be really interesting to see what these numbers are when he is X30 120, which it might be a while, though, because I'm waiting for that last copy from the Battle Pass. But doing not bad. Doing not too bad. All three. So the three damage dealers, well, except for Mari. Mari should be a damage dealer, but she's not. I'm from this test, I kind of like what I'm seeing. So he did 707 million. Shinji did 650 million. Also, so good stuff there. But that is the full EVA unit team. This is the team that I would like to be able to run in other content after the collab event ends. So now let's take him out of this setting and let's go to Endless Battles, where we'd still have a Vanguard fight up. And now let's see how he does. Again, let's give him a little bit of an edge and let's put him up front because he is going to be gaining the benefit of the attack boost, the 7.5% attack in the front, and the health boost. So actually, let's put Claire up there because Claire is EVA-0 120, whereas Ares is Immortal 5 120. He's kind of maxed with full tempered gear. So let's just see how he stacks up in this situation, which is much more equivalent across the board when we're comparing him to other Vanguards. So Claire and Ares usually do the best on this fight. They kind of run away with the damage, but and they are. Again, keep in mind Ares is maxed with full tempered gear, and he even has a full tempered surge set, whereas Claire is, oh wait, no, I am running them all in charge set. They're all in their PvP sets because I wanted it to be a little bit more fair, although Ares does have a fully tempered charge set as well. So Claire and Ares doing pretty damn good. You know, I think Claire is the best damage dealer on a Vanguard team, but Ares still hanging in there. And now Barag has overpassed Kaworu, but keep in mind my Barag is also maxed with a decent charge set on him as well. Oh wait, no, charge set, and I think he does have tempered boots, whereas there is 0 tempered pieces on Kaworu. So he is doing Kaworu is about 3/4, a little bit more than Barag. He's not bad, not horrible. He is over half of Ares and Claire. And everybody on this team other than him is Hypervolved 120. Well, except for Purine. But we'll see. This is just an initial test. Definitely not as impressive as the collab boss, but I didn't expect it to be. But he's not trash. Definitely not Mari level trash. I'm really disappointed they couldn't just give us a decent hunter. But they didn't. They did not. So, is what it is. 10 seconds left. So yeah, he's doing 530. They're almost at 1 billion, the top two. So right now, he's just over half their damage. We'll see once we get him up to Immortal 0 and Hypervolved 120 X30. We'll see how that changes things. So ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be my deep dive on Kaworu. Let's get him back up here. Where are they? There we go. That's my deep dive on Kaworu. Now, of course, stay tuned for the future where I will put out a video once I do get him up to a comparable level, and we'll do some other tests to see what this guy can truly do. So I hope you enjoyed the video, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch you in the next one. Till then, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, cheers, peace, bye-bye.